And when Apostle began to teach us on the first night about darkness, he laid emphasis on verse 2. He said, behold, darkness shall cover the earth. He said, and gross darkness the people. And when he began to teach us the first night, he said two things about darkness. He said the first thing about darkness is demonic spirits. And he said the second thing about darkness are the works of darkness in himself. But I want to attempt tonight to show us the origin of darkness, so that by the time the conference is ending, you will know why the things that happen to you. And at the end, you will know how to take a stand for a position of victory. The Bible reveals in 1 John chapter 1 verse 5. He said, this is the message we have heard and we declare unto you. He said that God is light, and in him there is no darkness. That means the foundation of darkness is not God. God had nothing to do with darkness. In fact, when insight was given to the apostles of old to bring us revelation about the dwelling of God in 2 Timothy 2:16, Paul told us, he said, to you belongs immortality, and you dwell in light that is unapproachable. That means both the personality of God and the essence of God is captured in light. So there is nothing like darkness found in God. But the concept of darkness came to be introduced into the realm of God when God stepped out of himself and began the project of creation. Because the Bible reveals to us that from the beginning, the Bible reveals that God dwelt in himself. It was an ancient community. The Holy Ghost dwelt with the Son, and the Son dwelt with the Father. In that community there was no darkness there. But immediately Moses began to give us an account. He said, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:26. He said God created the heavens and the earth. He said the earth was without form and was void. He said darkness was upon the face of the deep. It was when creation was introduced in the realm of God, darkness stepped in. That means the realm of God is perfect. If we journey further from there, you will discover that in the array of creation, the Bible said the Lord created the heavens and the earth. That means the immaterial realm came before the material realm. And when God began to create, he created the angelic realm first. And one of the things he did was that he created functionaries that he was using for his own service. So the Bible talks about a prince called Lucifer. Before he fell, he was called Lucifer. And what the job of Lucifer before creation even began, or from the eternities of God, was that Lucifer was saddled with the responsibility of bringing oblation to the presence of God. Because by his word, in the Bible revealed in Ezekiel 28:13, it said Lucifer walked in Eden, the mountain of God. He was the governor of the first earth. So what happened was that when God gave him the job he was carrying out was a Levitical job. He had the capacity to bring oblation to the presence. Because Apostle told us here, he said that God does not dwell in heaven. It is the dimensions of God that come into heaven. So what happens is that Lucifer was wired such that whenever God begins to come like the Shekinah from the east gate, Lucifer will come and bring oblation to the presence. So what happens is whenever God is emerging in form of the Shekinah and Lucifer brings oblation, the Bible records that he walked to and fro the coals of fire. The coals of fire, Apostle told us yesterday, he said fire in the demonic realm, it torments, but fire in the realm of God purifies. So the reason for the government of the coals of fire that was kept in the tabernacles of God was that when Lucifer begins to walk to and fro, the Bible calls him the light bearer. The goal was not for him to answer the light bearer. The goal was as he walked to and fro the coals of fire, because fire purifies, he will have the consecrational capacity to bring oblation to the presence each time God comes into heaven. But the Bible records that somehow, that's the foundation of darkness, that somehow iniquity was found in that dark prince. And before he fell, the Bible refused that in Isaiah chapter 14 from verse 12. He said, you said in your heart, he said, you will ascend above the congregation. You will ascend above the stars of God, and you sit upon the mount of the congregation. He was designed to be like the Most High. That's the foundation of darkness. A priest designed to go out of government. So that act of Lucifer was a violation of the wisdom of God. So the Bible said iniquity was found in him. That's the foundation of darkness. So the term darkness came to be introduced into the equation of God because God stepped into creation. Love compelled him to include creation in what he was enjoying between the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. So Lucifer rebelled, and what happened was that when he had rebelled the integrity of God, he descended with 1/3 of the quadrant of the angels. And from that descension, Paul came and began to give us an idea of what the spirits that fell with him do. So you will discover that what spirits do in order to promote darkness is that they bring their government to your realm. So Paul began to teach us in Ephesians chapter 6. He gave us an array of the spirits that are in charge of the government of darkness. So Paul told us in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, he said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. He said we wrestle against principalities, against powers. Can you increase the sound a little? Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in heavenly places.